Welcome back to the Avid Miler. This is episode 3, and today we are talking about pace and training intensities. So, after today's video, you will see I get a lot of my information from Jack Daniels' book. I agree with a lot of what he has to say about the sport of running and how to be a great runner, and I really believe if you want to be a good coach, you should read this book page by page at least twice. I will share the link below if you want the book, because it's a good book. Okay. All right. So, according to Jack Daniels, there are 5 intensities to training: easy, marathon pace, threshold running, intervals, and repetitions. Alright, easy pace. This pace is for long runs and cool downs. There are many benefits to running at this intensity. Injury prevention. You build up a certain degree of strength and resistance when you go 40 minutes to up to 90 minutes of easy running. It's great to start out when you need a base week or some base runs to get started again from taking time off. You have to be careful when doing base miles because you really shouldn't be doing a ton of miles. Pace should be no faster than 8 minutes, really, unless you're some freak runner. Um, Definitely base miles need to be moderated carefully. When I take a week or two off, I usually do a couple weeks at 25 miles, no faster than 8 minutes. And then I'll increase by a little less than 5 miles a week for a little bit. But okay, let's just get back on track here. I don't know why I'm going off script here. Yeah, so easy runs can be great for you mentally, whether it's preparing for the next race, getting school or home life stress out, because face it, if you're not strong mentally, you'll never be amazing. You'll never really get to where you want to be, you know. Your only barrier is yourself. Quote of the day. I like that quote. Yeah, but sometimes you do need help from others. If you're not positive or if you're weak mentally, That's why you're friends, and if you have a good coach or parents. So, it is critically important to stay positive and optimistic after a bad race, a bad run, a bad workout, or just anything demoralizing, whether it's school or home or running. Yeah, ugh. Alright, we'll go deeper into that another video. Long runs at easy pace should be 90 to 100 seconds slower than 5K pace. So let's say you're a 20-minute 5K runner at 6:27 pace. Your long run should be like 8 minute mile pace, and then it's like my 5K is around 17:30. So my long runs are 7:15 to 7:30 pace. But if you know me, I don't like long runs, so I'll go like 7:45 or 8 minute pace if I can. And kind of going into that, if your body is feeling like crap and you need to go slow, 8:30 or 9 minute pace isn't bad. Just listen to your body. Go ahead. Next intensity is marathon pace. So don't go thinking marathon pace. It must be slow. It's not. When I went to the High Peaks Elite Distance Camp in Lake Placid this past June, they did a great job describing this pace. It's really supposed to be a pace you can hold for a good amount of time. So depending on fitness, 40 to 70 minutes, but it will hurt as you get past halfway. Let's say it's 40 minutes, you'll start around 25, 30 minutes, start feeling it, and it'll hurt a little bit, but it's supposed to. It's an interesting pace because some coaches use it, others don't. Some people don't even know what it means until they go to college, and then their coach is like, "Oh, do this," and they're like, "What?" Yep, that's off script too. So, as an example, let's say you want to go on a 40-minute marathon pace. Well, if I wanted to go on a 40-minute marathon pace run, it'd be a 6:45 mile pace to like 7. 6:45 if I'm feeling really good. Next intensity is threshold running. This is commonly known as tempo running, but I like threshold better because it sounds way cooler. This is sometimes difficult pace to get used to and nail down because it is hard. It is hard. I guess it can be defined as maybe running at a comfortably hard pace. it gets you ready for a racing pace and get your body accustomed to harder running. You might you might run these a couple days before a race or a few days before a race or a lot in the beginning of a season to, well, I mean, really just get ready for your race. As I said, it's getting your body ready for the race because it's not as much of a shock when you go into the fast pace in the race. That was kind of confusing. I hope you understand that. So like let's say, you go into your first race of the season, it's going to be a shock, or your first time trial. You know, most time trials or most races, your first races are going to be pretty slow or are going to feel like crap because you're not used to running that fast right away from the gun. So threshold running is pretty nice for that. I guess you can explain it that way. I don't know. Maybe I did a bad job. Normally tempo runs are, depending on what your fitness and your level. I mean, in high school, probably 20 to 40 minutes. As you get to college, your coach might have you go on an hour tempo run or longer. Um, let's say you're an 18-minute 5K runner in high school. You should be doing 20 to 30-minute tempos at like 6:45 pace, roughly, depending on different factors and depending on what your coach says. I guess that's all right. Yeah. Fourth intensity is interval training. As you probably know, interval training means you're doing some sort of speed work, whether it's on the track, maybe a road, a hill, or a grass. This area of training is best for improving aerobic power, and going back to VO2 max will bring the body close to full VO2 max. So you're pumping a lot of blood. You're tired. Um, Depending on coaching style and ideas, intervals can change a lot of distance wise. Like I'm reading this off the screen, and that's not English at all. It can change distance wise. I don't. I'm not 110% sure. This coach or this book can be kind of confusing sometimes, but from what I can tell, Jack Daniels would have his athletes do anywhere from 600 meters to a mile or 2,000-meter repeats when doing intervals. And this is common for cross country and endurance runners or 2 milers on the track to do longer intervals like that. Fifth and final intensity is repetitions. You may be saying, isn't this the same thing as interval training? Yeah, I guess it is in a way. But depending on what you or your coach thinks, what matters really. But according to Jack Daniels, what I'm going with, this pace is just running fast, maximum heart rate for a short period of time, and really, basically repeats from 100 meters to 400 meters, normally around 400 meters. You'll be doing a lot of this as a miler, and maybe a half miler, and sometimes 2 miler. This intensity works best on speed, anaerobic power, and running economy. Whoa, I know you're like, Connor, you're getting away from me. What's running economy? Pretty simple. It's just running efficiency. It's how well your body can run and operate depending on different factors. So yeah, that's really it. Yeah, that's repetitions. So going back, we went over easy pace, marathon pace, threshold running, interval training, repetitions. I think I did a good job with this video. Thank you for watching. Pain is temporary, quitting lasts forever.